Hey everyone, welcome back to Bystanders. My name's Donovan. I play the character Donovan Halen, and I'm the editor for the podcast. There are three fantastic people who have allowed us to use their music for our campaign. That's Gwinn, Shady Cicada, and Kevin Macleod. Check them all out, they all make great stuff. And speaking of great stuff, we have a website for this exact module that we're using for this campaign, and a Discord server as well. Check out the website at jojodnd.com, and go ahead and check out our Discord server, which is going to be in the description wherever you're listening to this. And if you don't do any of that, well, no formalities, I'm breaking your knees. Simple as that. Left, right, you're down. Back to the episode.
All right, let's explore the mansion.
Yeah, you guys.
Nothing bad will happen in an hour.
Do.
Or well, no, in an hour we're having dessert. Nothing bad will happen after dessert.
So the first thing I'm doing, is there a basement?
Yes.
Is there a wine cellar? What are you rolling?
Stealth.
Oh, he said we can look around.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sid. Oh, then I guess I won't roll stealth.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Donovan's so
He
used to
didn't
it.
even tell us that there was any place off limits except the master bathroom.
Yeah.
Which that's
it's not
fair.
clean.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Donovan opens the door to the basement. Takes out a cylinder made of shadow. Puts Hamon on the top. Flashlight.
Fuck you.
Hell yeah.
You see a.
Wait.
Give me an investigation.
There's a light switch, isn't there?
Yeah, you can just. Yeah.
He just smushes it between his fingers.
I will say, you click the light switch, and instead of just like it clicking on and everything, you hear some kind of motor starting up, and then turn. The lights click on one
It's
at a
on a
time.
separate generator.
Oh, interesting.
Now I roll investigation.
Yeah. So you walk around the open kind of basement. A 4, an 8.
What is that? Like 4? That makes 8.
So you see.
It's dusty, so
Yeah, it's quite dusty. You're trying to look around.
I'm still dusting to the light. I'm still dusting to the light.
Yeah, you can't. You're trying to look around. If you got a bit more time, you could see things pretty clearly. But you're still kind of adjusting to the darkness. Everything. There's kind of a noise in the background from the generator. Yeah. So we'll cut back to you later.
Okay.
Anyone else? Anyone want to have a conversation? Look around the mansion. What are we thinking?
Steve is going to talk to Sid.
Steve. Okay, you're going to talk to Sid. Would you like to talk to Sid alone?
I mean, just there at the table. Whoever's there, he's not going to, shoo anyone away.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Sid is there at the head of the table, still sitting. He polishes off the last of his seawater.
He's just fucking sitting there menacingly.
He's just sitting there, and after a little bit, he pulls out a binder. Looks over to Steve.
So, growing new bones lately?
Hello, Sid. So?
What was the fucking...
Remember, guys,
I
him
do want
spelled
to ask you a
backward
couple
is
questions
Sid.
about. So, you're sitting there with Sid, and Sid pulls out a binder, and he pulls out what appears to be a multiple choice survey sheet, and pushes it towards you. Tell me what you thought about that meal. I've considered culinary as an alternative career.
To murder?
Culinary. Interesting.
You look at the sheet of paper, and it is basically just an extensive rundown of the meal. Which parts did you enjoy, which parts did you not, how was the texture? Because keep in mind, you were looking at the meal. Some of the ingredients that he was working with aren't with existing plants or food.
Right.
They're from the garden.
Interesting. I will say Steve enthusiastically is going to fill out the survey, honestly, of what he thought. While he's doing that, he's like, so, Sid, tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you get to be here?
Are we being cordial again?
My father always expected me to take
Because
over
his
the
threat is
company.
for later.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you were saying. What?
My father always
because
expected
we
me to
can't
take
talk
over the company.
I still couldn't hear what you said.
Shush.
My father always expected me to take over the company. I was the eldest. He thought I was the most well-rounded, the best equipped to take it over. The others had different ambitions they decided to pursue. I just wanted to stick with the family business. I gave it my all, and it just wasn't enough.
What do you mean?
One day, I had an experience that opened my eyes. I was gone for a while. I took a spiritual retreat, if you will. When I returned, I felt like a new man.
Interesting.
And I have been second in command of the company ever since that day.
With the first being your father?
Of course.
I see. Interesting. And you notice, like, on this sheet, or I guess, I don't know if he would notice or not, but, like, along with all of the answers for the questions, Steve is just, like, writing down notes in the margins.
I gotcha.
And then, like, once he's done, he'll just, like, tear a bit off with, yeah. But,
He gives you an odd look when you tear it off, but doesn't pursue it or investigate further.
So, where was your little vacation to?
Oh, somewhere down south.
Down south.
I was gone for a few days, came back, felt a lot looser. I just needed some time to decompress.
Man, fuck. Man switched to Brazil.
Oh, Central America.
It's a good feeling when you can sit down and decompress. I respect that.
He's gonna make an insight check.
All right,
I
and
thought you were
Steve is
gonna
gonna
say something like not very subtle, like it's nicer when you can sit down and really just stretch out.
Steve is gonna contest with deception because he's fucking shitting himself as he's talking to this abomination of a man.
Who is, yeah.
Never trust skinny people. This is the.
And like I said, as he's sitting down, it looks like his clothes are like too large for him.
Yeah.
But like I said, when he stands up, they appear to be too small, and then when he's like fully like stretched out, they barely fit.
Okay, that's gonna be a 15 for deception.
Skinny, that's
What's up?
15 for deception.
15 for deception. He notices that something is off about your behavior or the way that you said that, but he doesn't pursue it or investigate further.
Good to know.
I really don't like this guy.
I don't either.
He seems to make a mental note of it and continue going.
And Steve is just gonna go on kind of like asking questions, trying to also get a read on this guy.
Excuse me. And there's a few people after the table. I would say probably Taylor. I think Donovan is also there, probably.
He's in the
Or no, you're in the basement, I'd
Damien's
say.
fairly nearby, tapping his foot outside the bathroom door, waiting for Nikki to be done.
Yeah, so I
Nikki's
think it would
not using
be
the bathroom.
Taylor,
What's he
Christopher.
doing in there?
Crack.
No.
Nikki's gonna rummage through the medicine cabinet whenever all of
Good enough. We'll get to that in a second.
What were you saying?
So Syd kind of looks around to everyone and then just... I hate to ask this, but I would like to speak to my business associate privately if you all would be willing to leave the room. And Taylor kind of shoots you a look, basically saying I'll be nearby.
And Steve kind of very gently nods, just like subtly. Yeah.
And so they all kind of clear out. You see
Do you keep Act 1 in there?
Act 1 is still, he's still keeping it hidden, like, in the corner, pretty much. Just out of sight.
You see he adjusts himself and then pulls out another... No.
He just blasts Act 1.
He just reaches into his coat for a second, and rather than pulling out a weapon, he pulls out a water bottle.
Steve does tense up a little bit, but...
Pours it out, and you can smell that salt coursing through the air as he fills up the water, begins to sip it.
I noticed earlier there was something odd about your choice drink.
Seawater.
Yes.
Your Act 1 is quite perceptive, I must say.
So the fact that I haven't even said anything about my stand is really concerning, Steve thinks to himself.
We have left people alive.
That's fair.
I know about all of your stands. I know about Damien Drake's OK Go. I know about CRX extensively.
I'd hope so, actually.
And Back in Black, that one's a tricky one, but we can deal with it. Your stand shows the most potential, and I wanted to talk to you directly.
What do you have in mind?
Stephen...
Oh!
Please, Steve.
Yeah, that's super cursed.
Steve and Wonder.
There is such potential in you, and there's such potential in every one of your party members, except for, well, one of them. But the others seem remarkably competent. You are among that group, I would say.
Never
Thank
thought
you,
anyone in
but
this campaign would call us
I
competent.
beg to differ. I think all members of my party have some sort of potential of their own. And I think that everyone in our group is competent in their own way, so...
Yes, but you three, you, Nikki, and that third one, the small one, the one who's growing, Donovan, that's his name.
Damn, sucks for you. No, that's fair.
You all are in pursuit of something. Your stand continues to evolve. I saw Nicky employing use of the spin technique earlier on his way in, and Donovan, I can feel the hormone crackling from him.
So your problem is with Damien, then?
He just doesn't seem interested in pushing himself beyond.
What do you mean? He's a weapon master.
Yeah, he's just showing. He keeps picking up new weapons.
Then you don't know Damien. Obviously.
Perhaps I don't. I would be excited to be proven wrong, yet I rarely am. The point is, Steve, within this house, you will not be harmed, because you cannot be harmed. Bean, he gestures to Bean, who is still sleeping on the ground, very peacefully. We'll make sure of that. This is neutral space.
All right.
And while we are on this neutral ground, I will tell you. I was making illusions earlier. The fact of the matter is, I am remarkably patient, but my father is not. You have slighted him quite a few times, and you have benefited him, yes. But it is not a calculus. It is a game of chess, and sometimes you can lose a few pieces. Ensure that you're valuable, and we'll keep you alive. That is all.
Well, this is neutral ground. I guess we're hostages and we can just wait.
Thank you for sharing your beliefs with me, Syd.
As I said, I have no issue with you. I am patient. I can wait.
But he cannot.
That is the problem we fall into.
All right.
Medicine cabinet time?
Yes, go ahead.
God.
Rummaging check.
This
That's
guy
investigation or
just getting more
perception?
menacing.
Mhm.
And I don't like
Oh.
it.
No, he's
Also
terrifying. I
investigation.
love him.
Okay, this is gonna be one off of my roll. 4.
Oh, Christ.
4.
Why are all the bottles orange? How am I supposed to tell what's in it?
I
So
will
you see a
take-
medicine cabinet split up into 3 different sections. Or no, 4 different sections.
One for each.
One for each. Yeah, one for each of them.
One for each of the numbers you rolled.
Antihistamines, narcotics, poisons.
So, and I will say you
one
can
is
look at each of
which?
these sections.
Spiders?
So, you see one of them is very obviously pills for Bean. They're in much larger bottles. They seem to be more handcrafted. They're things to prevent parasitic growths, things to basically multivitamins, things like that. Those are very obviously animal pills.
Is there treats in there as well?
You do see just squared away, just in the corner, something
Go
like
steal
that.
one.
You snag.
Okay.
Cool. And then you see the other 3.
I guess I'll take as much time as I need to not find the wrong ones. So
Okay. So you see, how much would Nicky know about medicine?
he would know that the bottles tend to be labeled with people's names.
That is true, and I guess you can look this up as well because you have
I have my
technology.
phone.
So you see that in one section you see several antidepressants,
Okay.
and this one isn't as difficult because you see that it is very clearly assigned to Christopher Waters.
Valid.
So yeah, there's antidepressants, mood stabilizers, that kind of thing. You see in one cabinet there's some things for allergies. You can see some kind of ADHD medication, and that is also clearly assigned to the other person. But then you look at Syd's section of the cabinet, and that's where things seem interesting. Because you see all kinds of medication. You see things ranging from pain meds to antidepressants, just a huge variety of medications. But give me an investigation check.
Again, I'm good at those.
You have advantage on this.
R/lies.
R/lies. 17.
17.
Damn.
That's enough. You're looking at the labels, and you realize that the dates, most of these meds expired 5 years ago.
I
5
haven't
years
seen their guy in
ago.
5 years.
What's up?
5. He's texting Steve.
Okay, so Steve, you are sitting there at the table, and you get a
Sid's
tech
meds.
notification from Nikki.
Is your
Sid stopped using his
vibrate?
meds 5 years ago.
Is your ringer on or is your vibrate on?
He keeps vibrate on, but it's still like loud enough that I would assume Syd would be able to hear. And Steve kind of gets his phone.
Why don't you pick up the phone, Steve?
First of all, out of character. Fucking intimidating. Second of all, okay. Steve, slowly nods. Pardon me for a moment. And he's going
Going to
to
check your phone at the table, but you have time.
Hey, you
It may
told
be
him
urgent.
to.
You told him to.
All right, sorry, I want to say normally
prick.
it's rude to check your phone at the table.
Sit down. What you doing just saying they're lazy?
Always on that.
That was
You always on that
Maggie
damn
misspoke,
phone,
not
Wonder.
Sid.
He's going to check his phone.
Okay, it was a text message. I'm not... Nikki's not so dumb as to call in the
Yes.
middle of something that tense.
Steve checks his phone.
Okay, it's basically... Sid's medication expired 5 years ago. Like a half a dozen question marks.
Huh?
With a picture.
And we had heard that they haven't seen our dad in 5 years.
Sid, you've made your intentions obvious with me. I'd like to know. Well, first of all, what exactly are you?
What are you?
Make sure the door is properly shut.
Act 1 leaves its position and just goes and shuts the door. Then comes back to Steve, floating above his shoulder.
Yo, what? Oh.
Bean, come. He gestures Bean over. Just like we practiced. Shake. Bean reaches up, grabs, and you hear a pop as Sid Water's arm pops off of him. And it is left with a skeletal arm
He doesn't need that.
that
He wasn't using it.
floats and clicks together. 5 years ago, I was dispatched by my father. I wished to properly prove myself. I went to fight a stand user, a lieutenant who knew too much. They figured out everything. The tide, all of it. She wanted to put a stop to it, and I was dispatched. My siblings, they were both powerful stand users. They used their sand to assist in their fields of study. I had not activated my stand. I went with a revolver and hope. I had gone on missions before, rarely had went well. This woman, she defeated me handily. Her stand, Tears in Heaven. I was thoroughly and utterly humiliated. The last thing I remember seeing is my father's disappointed stare while he watched from a safe distance. I woke up 3 days later in a coffin. I tore my way out of it. And I have been reborn in this immortal body. You could say that I have become comfortably numb. My father crafted this external body for me. My siblings, they picked up that something was different, that I was off, that I was colder. But they were too polite to say anything about it. And eventually, life went on as normal. You cannot kill me. You cannot hurt me. You cannot torture me. I am immortal, and I feel no pain. I will guard his identity until my dying breath. Not that I have any lungs.
He can't be a hormone user then.
L plus ratio plus you literally died.
Steve is going to do his best to just. Steve is going to do his best
Sure,
just
in
as
some
this
way
guy's
that
telling
the
him things
type
to
is.
just stare him down, not lose his composure.
All that hate, all that anger, all that hatred manifested in me. So, does that answer your question?
You wear a stand.
Yes. I am still Sid Waters, but I am better. I'm faster. I'm stronger. I'm more perceptive. I'm capable. And I no longer fear anything. I have nothing to lose. And you must understand that. Bean, would you be so kind as to return my arm? Thank you.
Can I say something out of character real quick?
Please do.
We missed a fantastic opportunity to use imperceptibility on any of the siblings. That display of Sid showing who he is.
Well, we didn't know that was going to happen.
I mean, he asked.
We still have that.
He asked everyone to leave though. Actually,
And
yeah, I would
I
have been a
considered
tip
saying
off.
something.
Sid
but
did watch
my
them leave
character
as
wasn't
well.
there.
Like,
Yeah, I wasn't there. I didn't say anything.
I get what you're saying, but I think he would have noticed that someone like disappeared or like snuck back into the room.
Especially if he knows about Act 1's ability.
Yeah, he knows the
And we
ability.
still have that in our pocket for later for the demonstration or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Potentially.
Thank you. I understand that what you've just done now.
Oh, I should add dog treat to my inventory. That's gonna be useful.
I appreciate your honesty. There are some who would not be so forthcoming with what they have to say and offer, so
Dog bear treat.
I do appreciate that. That being said, you must understand about our group. With our potential and our strength, you must know this won't end with complacency. Either way.
I had hoped that we could come to a more diplomatic agreement. I shall give you time. Get your affairs in order. You can decide afterwards. You get up to start to leave and then... Oh, Steve.
Yes.
As someone who's died before, there is nothing you can do to prepare for it. Take care now.
Steve, I'm actually just going to
For
do
the
a
first
wisdom.
time, he smiles.
Cope.
I'm actually just going to do a wisdom save for Steve.
Steve Rick.
Yeah.
Steve is chilled. He nods
L.
and is going to leave the room, and instantly his composure breaks, and he's just... And he's going to go, like, first thing, find one of the other members of the party and kind of tell them what's going on.
While I'm checking out the basement.
Yes, we'll cut back to you. So Donovan, you are checking out the basement. You're after a while, you manage to clear out a lot of the cobwebs, everything, and you realize that this place is a massive underground bunker, equipped with everything you would need for a doomsday scenario. That's everything from canned food to a considerable amount of seawater, to regular water, filtration systems, anti-radiation suits. You see that every single apocalyptic contingency appears to have been planned for and neatly organized in this bunker.
Huh. This is intriguing, to say the least. All right. Donovan, he's like using like the curl of the cane to like ting 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 along like the rows of shelves I assume that are down there. He's just looking around.
And as you
Why
clip
would he need salt?
one of those shelves, something falls and shatters. It's something that was sticking out of one of the bookshelves. It's a frame of some sort. It hits the ground and shattered open.
Donovan, of course, just reaches down and just kind of flips it over to see what's inside.
You find a diploma. And I will detail it to you. I have this all written down.
We still have one major question
I think we have a number of questions.
though. Why salt water?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if the body can't absorb nutrients any other way, like through his stomach or eating.
Well, but just salt water wouldn't help with that. I mean, it would help with the sodium, but you need a lot more than just that.
That's fair.
The actual, like... Well, I guess it would be to keep the corpse looking...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure, didn't they use like a saline solution on like mummies or something?
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
That's the first thing I thought of.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes
You're onto
sense.
something. But you see a diploma
Yeah,
that is
okay.
roughly... Or actually, you see this is a doctorate that is about 30 years old from a university that you recognize as being somewhat local. It is Great Lakeside University, and you see that it is a doctorate in philosophy, and whoever's name it is has been meticulously cut out. Nothing remains of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Can I roll
wasn't
history
one
just
of
to remember
theirs.
if anyone on the list was a philosopher?
You can.
Fuck, one of them was a professor, wasn't there?
History
I don't have the list on me.
is... I always forget what history is.
Intelligence.
17.
17. So, you look into it, and you think back. One of them's a therapist, one of them's an academic, but she appears to be working with genetics, so that would leave
No, anyone on the list of him.
anyone on the list of him. There are a couple doctors.
But
But you look down at this piece of paper, and you notice a note scrawled on the corner of it. Never forget the importance of a good education. Your father.
Donovan gulps slightly as he... Anything else about this frame? Since it was shattered, is there anything within the... Can I take something apart? Can I see if there's anything else in here?
You can attempt, yeah.
What do you mean?
Or sorry, no, you can grab it and take it out.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else within the thing
Something
itself.
hidden behind the diploma or something.
Yeah.
You check behind the diploma. And you see a picture. It's an old Polaroid. It's of a young blonde woman that you kind of recognize, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Give me a history check.
19.
Can't quite tell, but something about this picture seems, I don't know, familiar.
Would it perhaps be a woman whose eyes reminded her of her son's? Donovan's eyes.
Now you mention it, does look quite a bit like Taylor.
Donovan is going to take that.
Damien.
So what will you do with the shattered, because you did just break it.
I did just break that,
Yeah,
didn't
the frame
I?
is broken.
Just sweep it under the rug.
Yeah, Donovan just uses his heel, kick the glass under one of the shelves. He picks up the frame, sets it back up. He adjusts the diploma in there.
Good as new. It is very clearly disturbed. But it is tucked within the shelf. It is tucked between the books.
This is me dealing with it.
Fair enough.
Damien, while waiting for...
Nikki walked out.
I was
Sorry.
not wanting you to say that.
Okay.
While waiting for Nikki to sift through the medicine cabinet, Damien's going to tap his foot increasingly impatiently. Nikki isn't actually in there super long. He just looks through the medicine cabinet. But Damien gets impatient pretty quickly and says, "Fuck it! I don't care if it's dirty. I'm going to use the master bathroom." And he heads upstairs. Presumably it's upstairs.
Okay.
And he's going to go to the master bedroom and find the master bathroom.
So you head upstairs to the master bedroom. You find the master bathroom relatively easily. And you realize that Syd wasn't lying, but it doesn't manifest in the way that you thought. You realize, everything from, the toilet to the bath has gone almost completely unused, and instead you see cleaning supplies line, the area of the bathtub, all of that. And go ahead and give me, I guess, these are cosmetics, so I wouldn't say medicine, probably investigation.
This is weird. 23.
That's enough. So some of what you see are dyes for hair. You can see replacement hairs for wigs, things like that. And you see kits that appear to be made for chiseling, polishing, and all of that, various kinds of wax.
Well, if our friend isn't who he says he is, this makes sense, I suppose.
Damien loudly
dear.
announces to himself.
Yes, I talk to myself. Investigating on my own, it helps me process things. Anyway, I'm gonna go...
High intelligence, low wisdom.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Is there anything else notable in the bathroom?
Like I said, you do notice that the toilet has gone basically completely unused. And
Damien is going to use it. He's just pissing.
Okay. You piss and you pull the you pull the flush thing, and you hear it audibly basically groan as it as the not super well maintained pipes kind of shudder as they are used for the first time in a very long time.
That is odd. Okay. Damien is going to then walk out. Nothing like a good piss. And then he's going to look around the rest of the master bedroom out of curiosity.
Yeah, so you look around the bedroom of Syd Waters.
Has the bed been used recently?
Yes.
Okay.
You see that it's, but you do notice that the sheets don't appear to have been washed for a very long time, and they do not smell like anything. They still smell like new sheets, but you do notice that they don't seem to have been washed in a very long time.
Interesting. There's nothing else weird in the room, though. It's just a fancy, probably, bedroom.
Yeah. Decently fancy bedroom. You see a lot of books, stuff like that.
Books. Dusty books.
Dusty books. You see a lot of academic texts, things like that. A lot of fantasy novels, thrillers, things like that, as well as you see a diploma for Syd Waters. It appears to be a master's degree in business management.
Well, I suppose he did claim to be a businessman. All right, well, I'm going to head downstairs and hope that he doesn't notice that I've used his bathroom.
Okay. So, and I do also say, if you guys want to hang out with the siblings as well, you're welcome to. Syd is still in that room, kind of by himself, just working away on his
Threatening
papers.
Steve.
Yeah.
So the siblings are not in the main room?
No, they left to talk to Steve.
Yeah,
so he
no,
can talk
You
to
can
Steve.
see the woman is outside in the garden. She seems to be taking notes.
Damon's going to go out to the garden to see her.
Sounds good. Do you want to take anyone with you, or just Damien?
Steve's kind of shook right now. He's gonna wait for now.
I'm going to go check out the garden. You want to join me?
Sure.
All right.
Alright, so you step out, and this woman, she has basically like a chalkboard and piece of chalk, and she's just like marking a bunch of notes down with very minute writing. You can see she's remarkably precise, despite the jank chalkboard setup that she carries around with her. You notice she's tracking and marking the growth, the development, unknown quirks and stuff within the plant's manifestation. Basically, she is running a bunch of scientific tests and maintenance on these hybrid plants.
You're very thorough about this.
Well, I have to be. If there's something in the plant's genetic makeup that we missed, it could spell disaster for a lot of people. I don't want to release a water-resistant crop that ends up giving people cancer.
Fair enough.
That's
Damon's going to crouch down and look for bugs.
As Damien is doing that, Donovan just adjusts his back. Like, this is really impressive. I'm sure your dad and your mom must be proud.
Oh, yeah.
She a part of the business?
I've never actually met Mom. None of us have. She died before we were born.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's fine.
Your Honor, capping on the court.
Yeah.
How does one cap without knowing they are capping? You're like,
Wait a second. Yeah, wait,
Yeah.
You're like
And they're not twins, are they? Like, they're all different ages?
you're like a cup with a
Or
screw
they're
on.
giving that vibe?
You're like a
Different
cup
ages?
with a
It's like
screw
the
on
fucking
lid.
They
different
could-
Schmerz.
You have no
my
idea.
parents showed
They
up.
all
Neither
appear
my
to
parents
be.
showed up on my bed.
They all appear to be mid-20s.
Okay.
So.
I had to use an inspiration, but I did get a nat 20 on my bug check.
Bug check. So you're looking around, and actually, as you're looking around, she leans over. Oh, you're interested in entomology.
Oh, yeah, I love bugs.
Oh, here.
I don't know
show
about
you.
ants, but I love bugs.
Let me show you the bee ant hybrid we got going on. Here, come with.
Be ant hybrid?
Yeah, we have a hive. They're incredible pollinators. I just have to make sure that we keep them under wraps. I have to make sure we keep them under wraps and make sure that they're more focused on, pollination, self-sustenance, and not, swarming like locusts.
They're
But
either-
yeah, come over here.
They're either a bant or an E.
I like E.
It's the fucking AE symbol. AE.
We go over to look at the AE hive. AE hive. And you see just this absolutely beautiful, it's an artificial combination that is built out of wax. It has the structure of an anthill, but with like the hexagonal
that's
building structure
sick.
of an anthill. With like
You
the
can see
cone
Damien
structure.
like
That's so
bouncing
cool.
slightly like a fucking schoolboy.
Even Donovan's
so
pretty,
cool.
Donovan's pretty into this too. He doesn't know like jack all about entomology. He just
And what's really nice about these is we don't really necessarily have to worry about a queen either. I've spliced in some other DNA from other kinds of bugs, just a little bit of beetle, other things like that. And their reproductive systems, they're actually able to survive as a colony that all works together. There's no queen or central nexus to it, so if the hive ends up being destroyed or anything, life can just continue and they can rebuild another place.
That's fascinating.
They're remarkably resilient creatures. It's just, I want to make sure that they're the right kind of resilient so that they don't mutate or become a problem later.
I assume you've published some works about this, or is it like under wraps?
A lot of this stuff I've been personally researching. I'm only recently making considerable progress. For years and years, I have experimented and tried things, and something always goes south, tinkering with life and all of that. But after these years and years of refinement, I finally made considerable progress.
Life
Well, this is incredibly
finds a way.
fascinating.
I will beat you with my phone.
You can count me as a fan. I mean, I'm definitely going to be following your work. This is so cool.
Yeah, I've mixed things between hybrid plants, I focus on bugs. I even did an experiment with a virus a while back. It was really interesting.
Donovan raises his hand.
But, oh, yeah?
Who recommended this virus idea? Or who?
Oh, fuck.
Or who?
Actually, it was a business thing for my father. He wanted me to run. Syd came to me on his behalf since he's out of town still, but he asked me to look at some of the.
Good catch. I didn't catch that. I took it as a throwaway line.
He asked me to look at the combination, the way that a virus would replicate and spread throughout food, and if we could create a vaccine or something to stop it. And I looked into it, and I found that there was a connection between the two. The virus was remarkably persistent. It continued to try to grow and mutate and evolve, but eventually I created a strain of grapes that would transmit the virus, but by the end of its life cycle, destroy it. So when the grapes were harvested, the virus would be harmlessly destroyed. And I'm hoping that I can use that research to make a more disease-resistant crop later on.
Yeah, what's up?
I would just say, when this thing's done, I have something for Nikki.
Sounds good.
Can I go get something real quick?
Sure?
Okay, so Donovan...
I mean, I have more tests to run. I'll be out here, I guess.
Donovan runs back to the house. He goes back outside. He goes to the truck and throws open the door to see if he can get some grape residue, because this sure is the truck that was transporting some grapes.
It sure is.
He hops up into it and he opens up one of the crates. I know there's like barely any grape left because was Rose using stand sugar? Because this is the sugar he used. That would be really funny.
There are a couple intact crates.
Okay. I assume these grapes are like not.
They're old.
Whatever.
They're becoming wine.
Donovan just grabs a bunch and then he runs. Actually, I guess while Donovan's doing that, you can do your thing.
Yeah, please do.
Alright, Nikki makes his grand return back to the dining room.
Okay.
Is it open now?
I mean, if you want, it's closed, but if you want to come in, Sid's in there by himself. He would just look up.
Oh, I thought he was still talking to
Nikki
Steve.
is going right into the dining room.
Okay, so you
Manners
stroll
be damned.
right into the dining room. There's Bean there, and you see Syd just like writing away on something. He kind of closes the binder. Nikki.
Stretch.
What do you mean stretch?
Just laying your hand down on the table.
Like Stretch Armstrong?
Like, he's lanky. It's a term for
Oh, he
lanky
calls it.
people.
I see.
He just uses stretch now. I command you.
Yeah, no, I was confused. I wanted to make sure.
Oh no, it's just a term for lanky people.
Yeah. Are you here to see Bear? Do you wish to speak with me? What are you here for?
Well, I mean, I'm here for dessert, whenever it's ready. I don't know what I need to do.
It's not going to be ready in another few minutes. I'm still having the ingredients defrost and everything, getting ready.
What's in the binder?
Work notes. But more importantly, your research into the spin. Anything particularly interesting been happening with that?
Got these new shoes.
Fascinating. Let me take a look. If you're okay with that, of course.
You could get
These are kind of a hassle to put on. I can just show you what I can do with them. Is this with disadvantage still?
What are you attempting to do?
Healy.
No, you can just make a regular check.
I don't know if he cares about the healing part of them.
Oh no, that's the cool part.
Well, I can't projectile it.
That's true. Yeah.
That either way, it's gonna hit something.
You will, if once Donovan teaches you, you'll become so adept at these mouse healies that
I
you
will
can,
say, sorry, go ahead.
that you can probably like omni wheel around.
21.
Yeah, you have it with pretty decent proficiency, and he looks over. Fascinating. Well, that proves one of my theories correct. Opens his notebook, scribbles.
I do want to say one
Thank
thing
you.
real quick.
That was quite enlightening.
As Nikki was walking in, Steve would have like passed him on the way out and torn off a bit of paper, handed it to him. That detailed pretty much all the notes he wrote down from talking with Syd. And then next, he's just going to find Damien and Donovan and also hand them like copies of those same notes.
Damien is looking at the bugs fast.
Or just tell them.
He barely notices you hand him the note, but he glances down for a few seconds and.
Ratatouille reading.
Yeah, I will say, Patricia is also here. She's like working on the stuff. She's not really like she's focusing on that while Donovan grabs the grapes.
Yeah.
So
Donovan's grabbing some grapes.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to interject that.
no, you're good. You're good. So you would have that information, that knowledge.
Donovan will read it later. He's busy.
What theory do you mean?
Well, this is actually quite fascinating, and I'm willing to speak to it with you. Children have remarkable capacity for learning.
This is true.
I am 18.
Yes, but the point stands that as someone grows and develops, they have so much potential. What they are able and capable of doing, the younger you are, the more adaptable you are. And we've been looking into it, and we've realized that for things such as stands, spin, hamon, pursuits of perfection, that children take towards these concepts remarkably quickly. And the younger you are, the quicker you pick up on them. Why do you think your friend Steve was able to develop so quickly? Why do you think you were able to pick up on this, and I would imagine what would only be a few days? Your friend with the electricity. Why do you think Damien hasn't picked up on anything like that yet?
I
David,
make
you
a
can
hidden
stand later.
intelligence save to see if I even am comprehending this. And the one time I roll a 19,
Donovan's not really a kid. He's 20.
so I got 18 on that roll. So I guess I'm comprehending.
Yeah,
this.
yeah, you know, you're picking up on what he's
This
saying.
is dumb character comprehends thing.
Nikki's just like, I just punch thing.
Kick thing.
Listen, man, I just...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the combination of double D's and I abilities to flatten.
Oh, what was that man's name?
It was mostly D's idea though.
Fucking Lazarus or whatever.
Yeah, Lazarus Hogan. But like I said, so much potential. And you were part of the last piece I needed for that theory. And he is also working on something, and we've been corroborating our findings back and forth to each other, and this pretty much proves it conclusively.
Oh, and one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
What's
I
his
saw
name?
you do it.
What's his name? What do you mean his name? My father's name?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you.
I mean, well, we're here in Purgatory, and I have no intention of taking your side. You probably gonna kill me.
I can't kill you. Not here. That's what Bean's ability does. I have no intention of harming you right now. But should he command it later, it may be a necessary evil.
Eyeing that dog tree in my pocket.
I swear to God, if you just throw it out the door, I'm gonna kill you.
No, I'm not.
You get fucking flattened.
No, I'm not going to remove our only veil of safety. In fact, this is a countermeasure for that.
I will say, Damien, as you are outside of the house, you do not feel the effect of Bean's ability.
Can I?
Donovan, you would pick up on that as well. Because you got that nat 20 later, you would like instantly click on that. So when you're outside the mansion, it doesn't work.
I forgot to do something. There was a reason for me entering there. I want to record this in my back pocket.
Sounds good. Cool. So you have it recording. We'll just say that's fine. Like you've just had the recording going.
So, what do we gain from being on your side? Life be damned.
Remarkable benefits. You'd be paid quite well.
Oh shit, they got dental, don't they?
Life insurance premiums are quite high as
life
well.
insurance?
Decently high premiums, I would say. Health insurance. You would get free dental. And
I kind of passed up free dental already.
a quite comfortable salary. All of that in addition to security and protection when the tide comes. After all, you're in the organization, we look out for each other.
Not anymore.
Very well. But again, you were once part of the organization. Should you wish to rejoin, the offer is always available.
I've seen FMA. I wouldn't bet that protection from the tide is actually guaranteed.
What? No.
About your walls. It is quite an interesting ability, isn't it? The ability to just keep someone contained. If you don't mind, I'd be willing to talk about it with you.
Sorry.
What specifically about it?
It is a powerful ability, yes, but the way that it operates, a mental barrier that manifests physically, it bridges the idea of the intangible and the tangible. It makes what is not real appear. And that is something that the organization is quite interested in. You and your friend Donovan both have the ability to create things out of, well, essentially nothing. You have the power to create, to build, to craft. You can make so much, and I would hate to see all of that beauty and that potential wasted. I am quite interested in your abilities.
Unfortunately, Mr. Waters, I'd prefer to use my walls to help people who aren't involved in all of this. All the needless casualties when the tide comes.
Well, do what you wish. If you would prefer to protect people when the tide comes, that is none of our business. I only request that you remain out of our way. If you don't bother anything else with our organization, if you don't join us, but if you stay far away, there will be no reason to go after you.
We've
Syd.
already killed like 6 lieutenants.
We've killed
I don't make promises lightly.
3.
That's a gnaw from me, dog. If innocents are involved, you bet I'm involved.
Based.
Fair enough. Is there anything else you'd wish to discuss with me?
What's the point of the tide?
Pick it up.
What's the real point of the tide? I want to hear from you.
I think you deserve some answers. I'll tell you. This planet is unsustainable. The amount of people living on it, the way resources are being guzzled, consumed under the systems of the world. Very few people hold all of the power consolidated. We wish to
Thanos.
shake that up. We wish to protect the environment, have the Earth recover and heal on its own, and for those who are left, they will have the power, the ability to decide their own fate. That is the world that we believe in, and that is what the tide shall bring about.
So you mean to call millions of families?
Our current projection is roughly 80%.
That's so much more than I thought it would be.
That is all I needed to know.
Now I will say, as I said before, children have a remarkable capacity for learning. 99% of the children that are exposed to any kind of stand ability, anything like that, take to it quickly. Typically not even a fever associated. They just can do things others can't. For the old, the feeble, the weak, those who have done this to this planet without remorse.
Oh, he just wants to off the
Eugenics!
How about you fit
Yes!
these nuts in your
Yes,
mouth?
that's yes.
Let me roll a history check.
Go ahead.
Fuck it, I'll do it with disadvantage because Nikki did not pay attention in class.
You said we were gonna do some book burning.
4 minus 1.
You know what this guy's describing
I'm
is
not
straight up
making
PJ
that
now.
Wouldn't
now.
you roll on? Oh, you rolled on both.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, I rolled an 18 on the other.
Ah, damn.
So never mind, I'm not gonna bring that up. This sure was a conversation stretch. I'll be seeing you at dessert.
You take care, Nikki. And take some time to think about my offer. At least consider it if you would.
I've got plenty to consider.
You are excused. And he goes back to writing.
All right, 2 things. 1, I'm going to show the girl the grapes now. 2, I have a proposition for Syd. Fit 80% of these nuts in your mouth.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
A whole one and 4/5 of one.
Okay, so...
Wait.
Okay, hey, Patricia.
3/5 of one.
Yeah.
Wait a second, hold on!
Okay, in February?
Why can't
So,
Okay, so Patricia, all right.
yeah.
What did you end up doing with those grapes? Out of curiosity.
I mean,
Did you make a bunch or just a few?
I made a bunch of the grapes. They
Bunch of
stopped
grapes.
replicating the virus. They were disease-ridden, or they were free of the disease. So I just let them go. The virus I keep contained safely in my lab. It's not going anywhere. It's locked behind a several layer thick password protected key. Nothing's going to happen to the virus. The grapes themselves should be completely sterile.
Would you still recognize the grapes if you saw them?
Probably be a bit degraded by now, but yeah.
You don't say, and then he just dangles them up.
Yeah, that's them. Wait, where? Hold on. Where did you get those?
Back of my truck.
Oh, you know.
We work with your brother, so we worked with your brother.
We've worked alongside them before.
You see her brows furrow.
And you said you just got rid of them. What does that mean? Didn't want to send them anywhere? No one was hired to send them anywhere?
I'm going to send a message to the Bystanders chat. This is Nikki sending a text to each of you individually.
We have a group chat.
I mean, I gave them to Syd. He told me he was going to burn them, make them into compost, put them through the garden.
So, would you say you made like a couple handfuls or around... How many crates were in the truck?
Not to mention we've seen the entire vineyard of the men.
We don't know if that was the vineyard in question, but maybe it was.
I'm pretty sure we do. We did confirm that they were shipping the grapes out to the beating heart.
Maybe.
You like a few crates worth, a vineyard's worth?
What are you trying to say?
I do not think the burning went as well as your brother may have said it would have.
Let me see those.
He
He
hands
takes
them
the
over.
grapes.
Out of character for a moment, this is interesting to me. I'm trying to figure out where the grapes are actually playing into this, because I had thought they were just normal grapes because the chalice thing was where the virus was coming from.
The virus was within the vase. The
vase,
vase is
yeah.
the virus they gave to her. She was able to turn the virus into grapes, which they turn into the wine to get the people.
Well, the
So
grapes hold
she-
the virus.
You
Grapes
see,
with the virus.
she summons the head of her stand, which has,
Right.
I can describe that,
Okay.
Yay!
because she, like, summons her full stand to check this out.
Pog.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I was gonna check your text.
One second. Patricia.
The stand appears to be entirely mechanical in function, and you see that whenever she's thinking and processing information, you hear clicking when the stand is summoned, like something's
I hear the same
being
thing when
printed.
Damien's thinking about something.
like something's being printed. And also you see she has an apparatus.
Her stand is a printer?
You hear the noise of a printer, and then the stand has an eyepiece that goes down and appears to be a microscope, and you see it zooms in on the grapes, and she just... Yeah, that's them. Hold on.
That's
So-
super cool.
The problem with these grapes is that they weren't finished yet. They would produce vast quantities of the virus, and then when they were harvested, the virus wouldn't be able to survive. But theoretically, if you were to juice them quickly enough, you could gather the virus.
Patricia?
That sounds concerning.
Donovan. I almost said Snark. That's my Discord name. Donovan.
You see, she just like the realization of what she might have done dawns onto her face.
I know this can be maybe a little bit much, but I need you to stay tuned in with me. Your group chat blowing up right now. Sorry, Donovan. Just your brother may not be. Your brother may be a really good businessman, but I think the business may be as dirty as your stand's water.
Oof.
You said there was a vineyard. Show me.
Check.
I need to know for sure.
We didn't burn down the vineyard. We burned down the cellar.
I can give you a name. He leans in. He leans in to make it look like he's looking down at like some sort of ecology thing, and then he just Lazarus Hogan.
That guy whose house got broken into was all over the news.
Hearing this, Lazarus? For those at home, Ty is doing the bit again where they look down at their shoe where Lazarus Hogan was and then wasn't. And now there's just the rest of him there. Billionaire's mansion got burned down by a flamethrower that I have nothing to do with.
Does anyone tell Nikki where y'all
Uh,
He doesn't know.
Donovan will tell you in just a second. He's busy.
So if all this is true, if I go and investigate this place, if I check out the grapes, why would they want to replicate a virus? It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if it were a diseased virus, it would spread, and you wouldn't be able to safely collect it.
Do you know what the virus
But
does?
if it were, it's self-replicating. It's remarkably fast, but I just used a rough template. I mean, theoretically, depending on how you introduced it to the growing organism, you could replicate any virus using that.
Did Syd say where they got the virus?
Only that it was safe for us to handle.
Of course it would be safe for you to handle. Do you know what the virus does?
No?
You know my friend Steve over there? My cousin, actually.
The 10-year-old?
He's 9, but...
I had to throw in one more.
You know her. You know we all got one of those fighting ghosts, right? I assume. So we're not really hiding it.
Stands.
He got his from a vase that, we know the vase had a virus in it at this point. Yes, this is knowledge that we...
This is like,
Yeah.
we've had this for a while.
We there was a job we did. Our first job for your brother's company, actually, was to break into a museum and steal a vase. I believe it was the world's first container. Inside this container,
I forgot about that.
inside this container was a virus that Steve was exposed to, and after he was exposed to it, he started showing signs of potential.
So it alters your DNA to make you a stand user?
It is the thing that makes you a stand user. That's how most people get it. Not me personally. How'd you get your stand, Patricia?
I was born with it. All of us were except Syd.
Yeah, he died with it.
I got mine in the desert. Don't know how the virus factors in.
Hi, Damien.
He's been in the
I know,
garden
I
with you
know.
guys. He just hadn't said anything.
Right.
He's been on the group chat.
Right.
He's been like hunched to the ground, like
hold on.
tracking
So
bugs.
The organization wants to give people stands? That doesn't seem so bad.
Well, if you don't happen to get a stand, it kills you.
The virus is a little bit more like a test. My aunt, she got the virus bad. It acted like a virus. She was bedridden for days until your company decided to put in some more independent contractors, some that we took care of. They were edging in on our turf, and that that gave her the go ahead to produce a stand.
They goaded the will to fight out of her by threatening those she loved.
The termination of our company, so to speak.
So let me get this straight. My brother is attempting to artificially induce supernatural abilities in other people, and if they don't manifest those abilities, they are killed.
It gets worse. We've heard about something called the Tide. They think he's planning to put in the water supply or something like that.
Wait, to put it... That would attach to microbacteria. Once the water supply would be tainted, it wouldn't leave.
You know a thing or two about dirty water, Patricia.
You can't use the
You
same
can't
word
do that
twice.
again!
I absolutely can, because I just did.
This
Coke.
woman is reeling because you've shattered her entire worldview,
And
rendered
used
her
her
academics useless,
and used to stand as a negative context twice.
told her that all of this research that she has been so carefully safeguarding for years and years and years has been used against her on a possibly apocalyptic scale.
Yeah, but the E's are cool, though.
One more thing. I don't know how much this is believable. It's just a secondhand account from Steve's meeting with your brother, but you should probably read this note.
And it just details like all of the main points of that meeting with.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Also, empirical evidence.
Eyewitness account. Yeah.
I need a second. And she walks over to a kind of wooden park bench that's placed in the garden, and she just collapses onto it and just...
Sorry to hit you with all this, but we've been dealing with this for a few weeks now, and...
That's rough, buddy.
Well, since we're here, I suppose you can tell it's not going great.
She just stares forward in just complete shock.
Damien's gonna hesitantly rest a hand on her shoulder and lift a little weight off of her back slightly.
Aww.
How much do you think Syd knows?
Well, as far as we can tell, he's the only one that has direct contact with who we call him, the leader of
Which might be your
your
dad.
organization.
Which might
we're
be your
thinking
dad.
is your dad.
And, he knows a lot, actually.
I think he's been intentionally keeping you out of the loop to protect you.
So you're
Or
telling me
to use you.
One of the two.
that my
maybe both.
father has been using me my entire life.
It's possible.
We don't know anything about your father, but I would assume as much.
Yeah. Yeah, Donovan gets like a quick, like, distant look in his eyes. Your parents are not required to love you.
Oh shit, I just processed that. Fuck.
She just sits there in silence.
Donovan's gonna sit down next to her and rest a hand on her shoulder. And you know, like, that BS pseudoscience, like, grounding electricity is supposed to, like, calm you down?
So Hamon is healing, so
Yeah,
I feel
so-
like that actually.
Nature is healing, and so is the moon.
I want you to know that just because your work may not be as pure as you think it is, it does not reflect poorly on you. Everything you've told me today, you and your brother Christopher seem to be fantastic work. You are fantastic people, and I'm better to have met you.
It doesn't matter what I intended. It matters what happened to it. And if this really is going to be released upon the world, then it's my fault.
Fault is such a fickle thing. I disagree. It's whoever's fault it is that lied to you about what was going to happen to it. At least if it isn't, because maybe if it's your fault, then maybe it's whoever gave birth to you. Maybe it's whoever gave birth to that. Maybe it's whoever had the idea. Maybe it's that asshole fish whose idea it was to grow legs come out of the water. Maybe it's his fault. Like, fault is such a stupid thing.
Is my father even really my dad?
Well, as I said, we don't really know anything about him.
And
For all I know, he might be gone. It might be Syd behind everything.
Donovan's going to look at her facial features, and I'm going to use sleight of hand to look at the Polaroid to see if I can find any similarities.
You said you haven't
Make a
seen him.
nature check.
You said
Nature.
I can give you a band on that.
You said
I will say, I did not mention she does have slightly darker skin, but as you're looking, you realize that she does. The way that her face is structured,
15,
does seem
15 on that nature check.
Yeah, the way that her face is structured is pretty similar to that photo of the young woman.
You said you haven't seen your dad in 5 years, right?
Not in person.
My friend Nicky, he took a look through your medicine cabinet out of curiosity.
He what?
Well, yeah, you know. Syd hasn't taken any of his medication in around 5 years. I think wherever your dad is at, it has something acutely to do with Syd being very different now.
Syd was always he was a physically affectionate person, but when he came back from that retreat, he never wanted to touch me. And at one point, I rested my hand on his shoulder while he was having a rough time, and he was ice cold.
That tracks.
He's still my brother. But...
Well, I don't know how much of him is your brother. Sounds like his body's gone.
No. I know him. His personality is the same. He just...
Minus all those emotions and shit.
A little bit more tact.
Yeah.
Drake.
He's not very good at that.
Yeah.
He's not wise. He's intelligent.
Around this time, Steve kind of peeks his head into the room. Or I guess you guys are outside.
outside, yeah.
We're well
Peeks
outside. This
outside.
is not a conversation for him.
The sun is still...
I mean, you can shoot if you
There
want. I
is
mean, I'm not going to stop you.
I texted Steve.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
No, he's
Come
like,
right in, then!
Wow.
Rip a chair!
Yes.
He's coming out to like kind of watch, but also kind of gauge the conversation. Yeah.
And I don't know how your brother fits onto all of this, or even if he even does at all, but...
That's part of what we're trying to explore right now is how involved your brother is with him.
This goes... Oh, it's more for talking about Christopher. But...
Oh.
Patricia, would you like to see him yourself? I mean, the real him. Okay, follow me. And he's going to take
Hope you're
Patricia
ready
with
for trauma.
him. Yeah, he's going to take Patricia with him.
Yeah,
and-
yeah. You see there's a flash across her face, and then just... I have words for him.
Before anything else, as they're walking in, Patricia just slowly sees, like... Well... Once they're, like, up to, like, the doorway of the room into the dining room, Act 1 kind of floats over, outside, and kind of with both in line of sight Patricia and Syd, the ability that activates on Patricia so that she is now imperceptible to Syd.
Okay.
And then Steve is going to open the door and walk in himself.
Steve! Have you come to reconsider the offer?
If you guys want to come along as well. I'm just going in so it
I think at
doesn't...
this point that's probably a good idea.
I'm just going in so it doesn't look like the door is just opening.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck it, Nikki's looking for Christopher Robin.
So everyone but
Okay.
Steve
So,
or Nikki.
Everyone but Nikki. Yeah, you're able to find Chris. He's in, like, the living room. He's got a book opened up, and he's just casually, flipping a coin up and down. And we'll probably do the encounter with Christopher first, just
Okay,
because...
yeah.
We could have that during the conversation we just had. in fact.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be a
And
good
he
time
can
for
come
that.
in
Yes,
together
and
with the
Nikki...
rest of us.
Concurrent,
I'm
yeah.
super gonna go.
Hey,
Have fun.
I do want to ask, is Nikki the kind of person to try something new but kind of reckless?
Absolutely!
What is that
Okay.
Do you know Nikki?
Okay,
He
perfect.
climbed a fucking waterfall just for something new.
Nikki, give me an intelligence save.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm good at those. I'm using inspiration. 12.
12. Okay,
think
so you
that is
walked
the
into the
last
room,
year's.
and
Does
you...
that pass?
No.
I'm using inspiration.
But it is a high
think we only
DC,
had
I will
3,
warn
didn't
you.
we? Oh, we got another one.
I've already made the roll the second you said that. It was the exact same.
That's fine. You
might-
walk in,
I just
and
used
you
all
don't
3.
remember sitting down on the couch next to him, but there you are. And you look over and he's just smiling at you, like you guys were in the middle of a conversation.
That's terrifying.
And you look down and you're holding that gold coin in your hand. So yeah, that's the ability does.
Me
And then he
whenever
leans
I'm-
back in the chair.
Me whenever I'm high.
What the fuck? You knocked my dice off the table and it
Can
rolled
I-
that 20.
Nice.
Can I attempt an Arcana?
I will just flat out say no. You would
Okay.
likely have to ask him.
For some reason I thought you were going to say, can I attempt a coup?
Two
I
things.
believe that's what we're doing.
One, please don't do that again.
I was out of room. That's okay, fine.
No, I'm saying
don't
that
know
no one
either.
knows.
That is the question of the hour right now.
A coin appeared in your hand, I think?
Yeah.
That-
You know, whenever you're high and you like find yourself in a new position,
With something new in your hand? Yeah.
No?
that doesn't happen to you.
No.
That absolutely happens to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nikki
I was
entered
like, when
the
did I
room
get
and
this
suddenly
in my
he was sat down and had the coin in his hand.
Donovan, that
Um,
has happened to you. You have put your hood up over your hat before and not remembered Gwinn.
And Nikki, I will say,
I'm not remembering that.
you shift and kind of like lean in your suit pocket, and you feel some kind of rustling of paper in one of your jacket pockets. You pull out a clean, crisp $50 bill.
Yo!
So yeah, that's what my stand does.
Okay, so I have something important to tell you.
Sorry. I was messing with you a little bit. So, of course you wouldn't remember. My stand's ability is Everlong. Basically, what it does is I give you the coin, you can flip it, and then in exchange for removing a memory from your brain, it gives you good fortune.
Ooh.
And the more emotionally charged the memory, the more powerful the luck. I specialize in trauma therapy.
Horrifying. Oh, boy.
That has
That-
some really neat applications.
That has some very
And, like,
neat
actual
applications
psychology?
and also some potentially bad applications.
But
Yes.
also advanced interrogation. So,
You see, it's not a stand that I can use personally, and it has to be voluntary. I can't just force someone to flip the coin.
that's really cool.
Thank you.
I do have something important, and I hate to dump all of this on you at once.
I'm a therapist. This is my job. Please speak.
How would you like to be in one of your patient's shoes? Just for a little bit. After
I'm not sure what you mean. Go on.
you understand what I mean after you hear this, and Nikki's gonna play his entire conversation he had with.
Oh. We don't know where this man stands on the issue yet.
We know that he's been intentionally left out of the loop along with his sister, though.
So what was said in the discussion? Basically, the thing was like developing stands in children, higher
The
potential.
80% number.
The
The
tide.
80%. Right.
When
So you see-
when I point
I'm
blank
going,
said
we're aiming to kill 80%
when I
of the
point blank
population.
said you would willingly cull millions of people, he said only 80%.
Yeah.
Which is more than millions, by the way.
If this is not empirical evidence, I don't know what would be.
Yeah. So he sits down and he's just. Leans back in his chair. When did this conversation take place?
12 minutes ago.
About 5 minutes or so.
I would say that, and like evidence-wise, I would assume there's like a timestamp of when the recording was taken, right?
In the metadata.
Yeah.
Nikki doesn't know how to access metadata.
Everyone knows how to access
Most playback
metadata.
applications would show
I don't know
it
how.
anyway.
I don't know how to access metadata.
I mean, you can see it in your pictures just by going gallery, the photo, then details.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the metadata.
So,
Yeah.
I
I do have more to say.
want to clarify this first.
Okay.
So our brother is willing to kill 80% of the population in exchange for environmental stability.
When I was in my junior year of high school, I joined your brother's organization. My old man was in it. He has a stand. The details of that don't matter right now. One is, I had one since birth.
As have I.
When I joined this organization, I was told that I was making the world a better place, so I was given advanced education. I was taught how to survive in nature, how better to use my senses.
So he's been planning this for a long time.
I didn't want to believe it at first. But while I was out,
And I will say, Nikki, you know the history of the organization. It is probably about mid-20s in terms of age.
okay.
So I'll give you that information.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening here.
I don't know how to... Okay. I will keep that in the back of my head and try to put that in the conversation. But I eavesdropped on a bunch of the higher-ups who I would later learn are lieutenants. And they were talking about something like the tide and being hush-hush about it. There are some good people in this organization. My friends, I have friends in the organization. They are good people. They are trying to mitigate the damage.
There's some good people in this organization. Your brother is not one of them.
Your brother is not one of them. There is something you need to know.
In addition to all of this... sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sorry,
Continue.
let me do a history check on something that came up in the conversation before, because Nikki, spotty attention. 13, I think that'd be enough to.
Yeah, I feel like.
Your brother, he is about mid-20s.
We're all about mid-20s. We're triplets.
That's about the.
That's good information. You're handling this very well, I just want to say.
Thank you!
Yeah,
This
no, you're.
particular sub-mystery is unraveling in a very interesting way.
It's been excellent.
This is very nice.
The organization started about 20-ish years ago.
I would say like probably closer to like 25.
About 25-ish years ago.
Wait, so you're telling? Hold on. What are you trying to get at here?
I'm sorry, I'm not the smart one.
No.
I'm just telling you what I know.
You don't. It's okay. This is a lot to process all at once. That's pretty damning evidence. I mean, should we call someone? I mean, I don't want to go to the Trivago police for this. I've heard about like a maybe there's like a foundation. I mean, I know you guys are stand users. Maybe there's some kind of underground system of stand users.
As your brother has mentioned, no harm can come to anyone so long as better people is active.
Wait. So we can't do anything now. I and my sister might have a discussion with my brother. But before that... Thank you.
This timing is working out conveniently.
Nikki's gonna check the time.
It's a couple minutes before dessert.
A couple.
Dessert is going to be interesting.
She takes a sharp inhale lava cake.
Made by a maniac.
Hee 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 ha.
How much?
Almost 3.
I think that we will have this wonderfully enlightening discussion in the next episode.
We will have dessert with a maniac in the next episode.
That's a great episode title.
Dessert with a
You
maniac.
already know.
Donovan, dessert with a maniac. You have to.
Take care.
Hello, Donovan.
Hello,
I'm
Donovan.
gonna say hello to you every episode. I just want you to know that I appreciate you. And the work
Thank you, Kyler.
Hey, Donovan in the future.
No, fuck you, current Donovan. I'm talking to Donovan in the future right now.
I gotta say, of all my possessions, I think you're my favorite.
I love
Welcome back to Bystanders, everyone.
I love you, current Donovan and future Donovan.
No, hang on. We're not. Sorry, I have to quote Hayden on that.
So we've started the episode objectifying our editor. That's good. That's good.
Hey, I didn't objectify him.
This
He's
isn't
beautiful.
this isn't the first time I've been objectified, and it will certainly not be the last.
Can I use you as a spin reference?
You can use my ass as a spin reference for
That's
sure.
what I was referring to.
Yes. I have pictures of
You
me
are your
putting-
ass, after all.
Thanks. I have so many pictures of my ass with the golden ratio on it. It's a really nice fit. It's really fun.
So anyway.